Hi, and welcome everybody to the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Channel. My name is Ross Benjamin, host of the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast. Ordinarily, you'd see one or two guests with me on each show, but today I'm flying solo because I'm covering just one game, the Philadelphia and Cleveland game on Thursday night. That's the NFL preseason matchup. I should specify that game will be played in Philadelphia. 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, and it'll be televised by the NFL Network. Before I get to that game and the analysis and my pick, just a friendly reminder, folks, congratulations to all of you who watched the shows last week as we gave out all 16 games in the NFL preseason between all the handicappers. And we went a red hot 11-5, and that includes 5-2 from yours truly. Since I had more picks to do, since I'm the host, and I hosted 7 shows last week. So quite simple, not trying to favor myself over anybody else. And also, folks, be sure to visit our sponsor, gamblersworld.com and gamblersworld.net. Gamblersworld.net is where you'll see 10 of the finest handicappers in the country, including myself. As a matter of fact, 5 of the handicappers out of our 10 at gamblersworld.net are ranked in the all-time top 20 NFL preseason handicappers. So people will tell you can't make money in the preseason, really don't know what they're talking about, folks, or they're listening to the wrong people, or they're not following our advice. So it's a whole different approach. We discussed it in length on many of the shows preceding this one. And you can't handicap the NFL preseason the way you do NFL regular season action. And myself, I could speak for when I say I put a major emphasis on head coaching trends during the NFL preseason, as well as quarterback depth. And then I go to team depth. And then I go to reading articles on how each head coach may approach their game this week in terms of, are they going to utilize their starters? Are they going to play their backups? How long are they going to play their starters, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So there is a method to the madness. It's a lot more simplified, actually, during the NFL preseason than it is during the regular season. And there you have it. You can find me at gamblersworld.net. And folks, started out 2-0 with my NFL preseason premium picks last week, and I'll have at least 4 for week 2. I got one up right now. I'm going to be covering the Philly and Cleveland game. I'm going to have a side for you in that game, but I do have my premium pick is on the total in this contest, up right now for just $25. And the best part about buying from gamblersworld.net, if you don't make a profit and you don't win, we will credit your account the exact amount of your purchase price. You could use that anytime you wish on any handicapper you wish. And you're not married to one handicapper. If you lose with him, you could switch to another guy and vice versa. So in any event, folks, let's get to the game at hand. And again, Philadelphia hosting the Cleveland Browns. Right now, as we speak, on Wednesday, August 16th, Philadelphia is a 3.5-point favorite, and the total in this game is 38. Again, this game goes Thursday evening, the 17th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time on the NFL Network. The Philadelphia Eagles coming up a 20-19 loss at Baltimore, in which they covered as a sizable away underdog of +6. Again, I think you're going to see Baltimore being a heavy favorite throughout the entirety of this preseason, which right now is only 2 more games. But in any event, just to bring it to your attention, if you don't know already, which many of you do, the Baltimore Ravens have now won 24 straight NFL preseason games under John Harbaugh, and they went 23-1 against the spread in those 24. However, like I just alluded to, they didn't cover against Philadelphia in game 1. Despite being 1-5-1 straight up and 2-5 ATS with Nick Sirianni as their head coach, the Eagles have moved from a opening 1-point favorite in this contest to 3.5. Additionally, when you look at the betting trends, and when I say betting trends, I'm not talking about ATS numbers or over and under numbers. I'm talking about actual tickets and money bet. As of this moment, by a very credible source that I've been using right along, the Philadelphia Eagles have only seen 21% of the point spread tickets being wagered go on them, as opposed to 79% on Cleveland. And then only 19% of the total money bet has gone on the Eagles as opposed to the Cleveland Browns. And usually when you see those kind of lopsided numbers, it would indicate that Cleveland, who opened as a 1-point dog, should move to a favorite, but that's not what happened. Philadelphia moved to 3.5. Now, I don't want to get caught up in telling you this is a sharp money move. I'm more inclined to think, and from what I read, that Philadelphia plans on using this as a dress rehearsal for the regular season, meaning their starters will see a lot more action than those of the Cleveland Browns. Hence the line move, because why else would that line move? Think about it rationally. I mean, Philadelphia, not a very good preseason team under Nick Sirianni. He hasn't shown to this point an urgency to win during the preseason, or I should say urgency is probably a bad word. Probably an emphasis to win on the preseason isn't as high as it is, for example, with the John Harbaugh that I just mentioned, Mike Tomlin, Sean McDermott, who's gone 11-1 straight up in ATS in his last 12 NFL preseason games with Buffalo. So there you have it. And Cleveland's 1-1 thus far, coming off a loss last week after opening the preseason in the Hall of Fame game, in which they knocked off the Jets 21-16, overcoming a 16-0 halftime or first quarter deficit, or first half deficit, I should say. And they roared back to win that game 21-16. I know that I've shared a lot of these NFL preseason betting angles on this channel, and they've been golden. Okay. My record speaks for itself. And not only do I factor in what I alluded to earlier about what I look for, and I named off some of the stuff I look for: head coaching trends, quarterback depth, etc. My NFL preseason betting angles have been money. So here's one for this game. Anytime you have an NFL preseason home favorite like the Philadelphia Eagles, and they're coming off a straight up loss in which they covered as an away underdog. So they covered as an away underdog, even though they lost the game straight up. They lost 20-19 last week at Baltimore, but covered as a 6-point dog. And they're facing an opponent like Cleveland that's coming off a straight up loss by 24 points or less. Those home favorites have gone 9-0 straight up and 8-0-1 against the spread since 2003. So it's not like it's a huge sample size. But again, folks, remember, when it gets to big sample sizes, we see those in the regular season because we're talking about a 17, 18 game schedule in recent years. You're not going to see that in the preseason because now we're down to 3 preseason games per team. And prior to that, it was just 4. So I don't put, I would say that a 9-0 against the spread angle, or 9-0 straight up and 8-0-1 ATS betting angle during the preseason, to me, is not really an ample sample size. In this particular instance, it is. Okay, so the average margin of victory for those home favorites, by the way, they won all 9 of those games straight up, covered every one of them with the exception of one push. 13.6 points per game was their point per game differential. So a very decisive margin at that. So I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles here, -3.5 over the Cleveland Browns on Thursday, August the 17th in NFL preseason action. Friendly reminder, I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be joined by Doug Upstone and Chip Chirimbus. We'll be covering more NFL preseason action. On Friday, I'll be back with Sean Higgs and Jesse Shule. Again, you guessed it, more NFL preseason action. And on Saturday, I'll be covering the Monday night game in NFL preseason action as well. all in all, we're going to be covering all 16 NFL preseason games in week 2. We've already covered several of them already. If you go to the archives of our YouTube channel, which is the Winner's Circle Sports Betting channel, you'll see the archives of 3 of the videos we've done already in regards to this week's action. And you can get all the archives right there. You don't have to catch it live. As a matter of fact, we haven't done anything live to this point. We are going to in the future. So everything is on a recorded basis, and you're not missing anything if you don't catch it like on some shows. You feel like if you don't see it live, you don't see it at all, which, again, everybody has archives these days, and you should take advantage of that, folks. In any event, that's what we got going on. And don't forget, if you have not subscribed to our Winner's Circle Sports Betting channel, I don't know what you're waiting for, because it's absolutely free. There's no hidden agenda. There's no obligations attached. All you're going to do is you'll see a WC button, right, or WC logo, I should say, right in the bottom right-hand corner of your video box. If you're watching on your PC, you'll see a black subscribe button right under your video box. If you're watching on your mobile device, just click those and you'll be subscribed. And then go into your YouTube settings and just hit the notification alert bell for the Winner's Circle Sports Betting channel. Any of our podcasts that go up on our channel, you'll be alerted immediately upon doing so. So again, folks, thank you for joining us today. Until the next time. For Ross Benjamin, I'd like to wish each and every one of you all the very best. Take care and God bless, folks.